Hello everybody, Mac here. Welcome back to the show. Today we are taking a look at what is unfortunately the final figure of the Jada Toys Universal Monsters line, the Invisible Man. And I really think this is going to be my favorite out of the entire line that they made. Not because the Invisible Man was my favorite of the Universal movies or the Universal Monsters, but look at this guy with the paint deco, the wardrobe choices, all of the accessories, the different ways you can display him. I really think this is going to be my favorite of the figures. And you can find him along with other Jada Universal Monsters at Entertainment Earth. I'll be leaving links in the description below, and I'm mentioning Entertainment Earth by name because Mac finally got a sponsor, sort of. I am affiliated with Entertainment Earth now. If you're going to buy your figures, clicking through the link below really helps out the channel. I love that I actually get to say that now. Who knows, maybe I'll even do like a insert commercial like how Shartimus does moving forward. We'll have to wait and see. But you can get him at Entertainment Earth along with a lot of the other Universal Monster figures that they still have in stock, including the Bela Lugosi Dracula. Links for all of that in the description below. Now, taking a look at this, we have the standard Universal Monsters packaging that we've received from Jada before, with the Invisible Man logo across the bottom, the Universal Monsters logo across the top, a big clear window that you can see the figure and everything inside. Also notice that all of this is press in. There's no straps to cut, nothing to hold him in. So just like all the other ones, we have this collector packaging that we'll be able to pop him out and then put him back in. Up top, window and logo. On the bottom, barcode. On the side, we have that same piece of artwork with the monster, the bride, and the creature. Over here, night and more window. On the back, we see the two figures that came with the wave, the Wolfman, which we've already taken a look at, and our boy, the Invisible Man, right here. I can't remember what his real name is at the moment, but without further ado, let's open this box up and let's get him out and let's take a look at the last of the line, Jada Toys Universal Monsters, the Invisible Man. Okay, here he is out of the box, and putting the tape measure to him, we can see that he is approximately pretty much dead on 6¼ inches to the top of his bandaged head. So I know we're just getting started here, but I'm pretty certain I was dead on when I said this is going to be my favorite of the line. Just looking at him, look at the bandages, look at the wraps, the detail, the aged look of these bandages, the dirtiness of these bandages just wrapped around his head. That looks fantastic. And then when you take into account these gold-rimmed glasses with the side veneers here, this whole face sculpt, for not actually having a face, is so fantastic and so detailed. And I don't know if you can see through the camera, but it's not just the detailing of the wraps, but the wraps themselves have texturing to them that flows with the bend of the bandages. This is fantastic. I so love this. This figure may, I don't know what I'm going to do with him, but I don't think he's going to get put away after Halloween, because a lot of my Universal Monsters figures get put back in the box after Halloween and like go up on the shelf in the box. The Invisible Man here might find a place somewhere, maybe in Mindbender's lab or something. I don't know, but this alone, the face sculpt alone, sells me on this figure. But then you look at the rest of him, and you look at his robe, and the detail for the, I forget what that's called right there, a cravat or something like that. And then the plaid of the inner lining of his robe and of the belt. The belt is actually molded to the robe because this is actually a very soft rubber piece so that it gets out of the way of the legs. But we have that plaid pattern that comes down here to the sleeves, and you can even see some buttons right here molded into the sleeves of the robe, which is a really nice touch. These stark white gloves that fit up into the sleeves, his pocket square right here on the back, just some wrinkles and some draping, and once again we have texturing on the robe as well. Now, it doesn't stand out nearly as much on the torso or on the leg skirting right here because this is a very soft plastic. But here, I don't know if you can hear that. On the arms, it's very apparent because this is a harder plastic right here. And I think this whole thing looks fantastic. And then let's lift your arms up. Opening the robe up a little bit, we have the pinstriping of the pants. And man, I really like the work that they did here. I think it looks great, like right down to his loafers, where you can see the pants sort of like, I feel like the feet should have been pushed up into the pant leg a little bit more to actually make it look like the pant legs were sitting on the shoe. But that's a nitpick. I can get past that because the rest of it just looks so good. The ball joints of the ankles are a little bit bulbous. I don't know if you can see that. They're a little large. I feel like the ball joints they could have reduced in size and just pushed the feet up into the legs a little bit more, just to give it like a tighter seating right here. But that is just a minor nitpick when you take a look at how good the rest of this figure looks. I love the coloring. Like, I know this came from the movie, but like, I love the coloring. I love sort of like the clashing of designs, and I keep going back to it, but this face sculpt right here with the bandaging, this looks fantastic. Now, don't do what I did. I thought these glasses came off. I think that's the NECA one I was thinking of, but these glasses do not come off. As a matter of fact, when I pulled on this, I kind of bent one of the earpieces out, and I almost broke it. Luckily, I was able to bend it back in without any damage to it. So don't make the same mistake I did. If you get this guy, these glasses don't come off. Now, taking a look at articulation, the head will do a full 360. He can look up very well. He can look down pretty well, as good as well. He has some tilt side to side. He has, you can see that there's movement in the neck as well, not just on the ball joint of the head. The arms will do a full 360. They come up to 90. There's no butterfly joint in there, but he does have the bicep swivel. Now you can see that the bicep swivel is also sort of cut in instead of straight, just like we saw with Wolfman. Once again, this was Jada learning from their mistakes from the first wave. Double jointed elbows with some really good travel. Wrists pivot. Wrists hinge in and out. This one I believe hinges in, yeah, this closed fist hinges in and out as well. I don't think any of his hand accessories articulate up and down, but we'll take a look at that. Now, he doesn't have an ab cut or anything here, but this is a separate piece. These are two separate pieces. It almost looked like this should have been all one piece, but these are two separate pieces so that he can move at the waist with his ball joint right here that has some really great range of movement. Now, if you go back too far, once again, you can start to see the gap right there, but he can really get some movement going back and forward with just that single ball joint in there, and I really appreciate that. Now, like I said, the robe will come up out of the way, that the legs will come forward that far, but if you turn them and bring them up a little bit more, you can get them to 90. They go back fairly well as well. You can see that this is a rubbered crotch piece underneath the... That's actually really loose. I'm guessing since they didn't... Yeah, it's just a flat piece of very soft rubber. I'm guessing since they figured it was underneath the robe, they could make that a little bit softer, and it gives you more movement, range of movement with the leg, which it doesn't come up to 90, but it comes out to right there. You have a thigh cut, double jointed knees with a really flat knee. Once again, I feel like the joints was something that they could have improved on with another line that would have come out. And the ankles do twist. They're very tight. I don't know if you can hear that, but they also rock back. They will rock forward, and they have a forward-facing pin for some rocker. So our Invisible Man comes with a range of hand accessories of different hands and one additional head. So let's just take a look at that right now. That out of the box, he just comes with his clenched fist, and he comes with this open hand that is supposed to hold one of his accessories, I believe, which we'll take a look at once we get to those. But I do think this one serves a purpose. And speaking of hands that hold accessories, he also comes with this round gripping hand right here that is made to hold this, his potion bottle. No, it's not a potion bottle. His beaker of invisible juice. his invisible formula, that it fits right into his hand. It's a little bit of a tight fit when you push it up in there, but once you get it in there, he gets a really good grip on it. So he can be holding that, you know, so he can slip back into invisibility, because I think he had to keep drinking it to remain invisible, or at least he believed he had to keep drinking it, but it was also driving him mad that he pretty much just became like a total psychopath. And another one of the hand accessories that he comes with that I absolutely love is this hand that is holding the glove to make it look like he's pulling it off of his hand and there's nothing in there. That's a really cool idea. I really liked that idea. I thought that was a really nice touch. And like stuff like this, I think you're just going to have so much fun posing and coming up with new ways to utilize that for this figure, or even maybe using it on other fully masked figures. I don't know. Like, this is just a really cool idea, and how he has like that one little pinky extended and he's just popping it off. Like, that just looks really cool. Now, as far as additional heads go, we do have this head that is in mid unwrap. Now, when I saw this, I was really excited about this. And once again, if you look at it up close, you can see that there's texturing to the bandages. But the one thing that kind of bums me out is this button that's in here. And they need that so that it can mount on the peg. I get that. But like, if you look at it at the wrong angles, you can kind of see that. And it like ruins the illusion. But to use that, we just pop his head off. And that pops off very easily. And then we pop the new one on, and it looks like he's in mid-wrap. And he also comes with this hand accessory that sort of has like a grip at an angle so that you can put the bandages in his head, and it looks like he's just peeling himself. He's peeling the bandages off his noggin. That looks really cool. That is a really well done effect. And this is very flexible too. The bandage that's right in here, so you can kind of just hook it in wherever you want on his hand. Oh, let me get it in there. So you can just pretty much hook it in wherever you want to make it look like he's unwrapping. That's a really cool effect. I really dig that. Now, a couple of other accessories that our Invisible Man comes with is he comes with this wide-brimmed black fedora that he can pop on, and that fits on his head very well. It only fits one way, so like it fits that way, but like if you turn it around, it doesn't fit the other way. So it only fits on like that. And I think that looks really cool. I think with the bandages and the glasses and then this fedora up top, whoops, I think he looks really good. Like he came out of the movie. I really like that. Now, in this holding hand right here, he has his book right here, which is sort of like his journal, his notes, things like that. And I think it's supposed to fit into this hand, but it just seems like the journal is a little too big to fit in there. And I can't really get it to sit right. Like, if he's just holding it, you can balance it. But, like, he doesn't really get a good grip on it because there's not enough gap right in here to, like, fit the book or fit the spine of the book in there. So I don't know if he's supposed to hold it or if he's designed to just cradle it like that. One thing that I did find really cool, and it sort of like complements this whole look that he has going on. If you take this hand, this is the hand that you use for whenever he's unwrapping his head, the one that's sort of a gripping hand on an angle. If you put that hand on him, and then you take the silver cane from your Jada Toys Wolfman, it's a little bit of a tight fit, but it does fit. And he just looks really cool holding that. He looks real cool with that. Almost like it was meant to go together. And then the other thing that I found out, if you remember, one of my criticisms about this was I wish they had made it a little bit longer so that like 6-inch figures could hold it and it would touch the ground. If you take the hand accessory right here that's supposed to hold the beaker, and then you take your cane from your Universal Wolfman, and then that fits in there, that it does touch, whoops, just when he was getting into position. It will touch the ground with him. It's almost like it was made for him. I think that's really cool. I know it's an accessory for the Wolfman, but like he may be getting it from this point forward. And now for size comparison, here he is beside Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series Zartan and Snake Eyes. Here he is beside McFarlane Toys DC Page Punchers Constantine and DC Multiverse Deadman. Here he is beside Mattel Masterverse 40th Anniversary He-Man and Masters of the Universe movie Skeletor. Here he is with NECA Toys Dungeons & Dragons Warduke and Grimsword. And finally, here he is with the only size comparison that really counts, him up against the rest of the standard issue line of the Universal Monsters by Jada Toys. The Bride of Frankenstein, Frankenstein's Monster, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, the Invisible Man, Count Dracula, and the Wolfman. And that, my friends, unfortunately brings us to the end of the line, and I, for one, am very disappointed. Not in the line. I love the line. And I definitely think that the Invisible Man here, this is one of the best figures, if not the best figure, of the short-lived line that they came out with. For me, the Creature from the Black Lagoon would be a very close second. I really liked this line. I thought Jada was doing something really good with this line. And the Invisible Man is just sort of like, you know, the pinnacle of all of that, with the coloring, with the articulation, with the detail work, and the ribbons, and the bandages around his head. All of it works. All of it looks fantastic. All of it makes me want more. All of it makes me want to see what they could have done with this line, especially with something like the Phantom of the Opera. I would have loved to have seen that, with like maybe interchangeable headpieces, one with the mask on, one with the mask off. They've been doing sort of like unique one-offs. You have the black and white Frankenstein's monster, you had the Bela Lugosi Dracula, you had the glow-in-the-dark Creature from the Black Lagoon. They could have totally made like the Mask of the Red Death version of the Phantom of the Opera. I think they could have done some really great things with this. I love this Invisible Man figure. Even if I wasn't a fan of this line, I think I would have gotten this figure just because of the coloring, the articulation, the accessories that he comes with. I think it's really clever. I think it's a really good payoff for what you're getting. And I think he's going to make his way into other lines. I don't know how yet. I don't know where yet. But like I said earlier in the video, he might end up in Mindbender's lab. Not 100% certain on that. One thing that keeps me hopeful is that things like the Mummy and the Phantom of the Opera, they are in the public domain, so it's very possible that Jada could make versions of those just without the Universal Monster branding. After seeing the face wraps for the Invisible Man here, could you imagine an entire mummified figure with that amount of detail on it? That would have been fantastic. We saw a hint of that with the Bride of Frankenstein as well, with her bodysuit, the wraps that are on her. I really wanted to see them make a mummy figure. What did you think of this line? And I don't mean to turn this into a Jada versus NECA, because both lines have their fans. I was a fan of this line. And even though I want the Mummy, even though I want the Phantom of the Opera, I don't think I'm going to go back and start collecting the NECA versions of these figures. I really like these Jada figures. I like what we have. I like what we got with this line. And I'll find some way of getting a 6-inch Mummy and getting a 6-inch Phantom of the Opera figure to sort of like cheat into this line. I really like these. I was really hoping this would keep going. But what do you think? Did you collect these? Did you like these? Remember, like I said, if you want to collect these, they are still available at Entertainment Earth. Affiliate links in the description below. Clicking on those really helps the channel. I know I've said that already, but it just really jazzes me that I finally get to say that now. But this is the end of the Jada Universal Monsters line. Hopefully it's not the end of the Jada Monsters line. I would like to see them do more, especially at this time of year during the Halloween season. So happy Halloween, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, thank you for watching.